Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
From dry West Tennessee. It's dry again.
Dude, the corn we've been shelling, Dad and I both were shelling over there today, and it's so dusty that about 5 to 6 o'clock time frame, maybe 4:30 to 6 o'clock.
No breeze.
And then, but the sun is down just at the right height.
Yeah.
The dust, you can't see anything. I mean, you're just blind shelling. Like, I'm hoping that
Good thing y'all got all that GPS shit.
I know, the bad thing is you can't run it in corn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't have we don't have row sense. Yeah. Now some of the newer ones, they have the row sensing, so it'll kind of keep the combine there. We don't have it, so you have to try to so I'm like, I can kind of see the last couple of rows, so I'm trying to make sure that they're not getting knocked down, and then I usually am all right.
Yeah.
So corn is just all over the place. It's
as far as yields.
Yeah, it's I bet
anywhere from like 275 to 350.
Yeah, about in that range. Sometimes 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
just mediocre
you got some
year.
spots that are better than others.
That's right. No, it's I bet there's 20 acres out there that's drowned out.
Not even worth putting a combine.
You just can't. It's just grass. The Johnson grass is 7 foot tall in it. And I knew it was going to be like that. This was the farm that I planted it. As soon as I planted it, it rained like crazy. And the corn, somehow, a lot of it looked like it came up, but it was like a real spotty stand. I couldn't tell. And then it got really grassy, and we actually had the drone fly in there and spray it because I couldn't even get in there. And it's not one like my buddy, with the airplane. Like it's in it's behind a neighborhood, and so it's not one that he could like spray, what we were needing to spray, Roundup and different things. But it didn't ever get a good kill, so there's grass, and man, the corn was just doomed from the start. And
yeah.
I mean, what sucks is the part we're back on now is kind of it's like a rolling hill, and it's good long rows now. And this is actually one of my best farms, and the corn up there will get up to 200 bushel an acre
on the hills.
But then you get off, and like where it ain't drowned out, it'll fall off. But I mean, if I include the drowned out acres, I mean, that place is going to average like 90. If I figured up just harvested acres and didn't count the drown out, it's probably 120, 130.
Still losing
money. And if there were no drown outs, this place would average about 160, which would just almost probably be like breaking even. But yeah, I mean, it's probably, we'll know tomorrow. We should finish it tomorrow over there, and I'll be able to say for sure. But I got a feeling it's going to probably be about a 90 bushel average, including those. Yeah, which is just absolutely catastrophic. So I don't know. Our friends, I saw the Griggs, they had put up a thing. They got into some soybeans. They were cutting like 20 bushel an acre.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it some double crop beans? Or
no, I don't think so.
I guess double crop beans probably aren't quite ready.
Yeah. No, it's man, I guess just dry. They just starved to death for water.
Damn.
So I don't know, man. That's I've actually been doing really good though. I told Bobby Lee I was pouring this. I got just a little bit of whiskey here. I have been. Well, before I get into why I'm drinking a little bit of whiskey, first let's give our shout outs. We need you to hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below and let us know what you think of the episode. Also, 5-star rating on Apple, Spotify. If you leave a cool rating, we'll read it on air. I'll check. I think we do have some that I need to read on Spotify, actually. And guys, share the episodes. If there's an episode that you're like, man, I really enjoyed that episode, which we hope is every episode, we want you to share it. Share it with one person. And here's some of our comments on, looks like our last episode. This one, well, this one kind of comes from Derek. I think he's a regular listener here. He said, news show. I must have mentioned like a news show in the last episode. He said, news show mentioned would be grain markets and other stuff with Joe Vaklovic. If you like the show and talk about an episode, you should give them a shout out to help grow their pod. Now, I've mentioned that show quite a few times. And that's what I told him. I said, man, I've mentioned the show a lot. And I have. It's a great show. If you are a farmer, it's a really awesome show because they go into the grain markets, and they do talk cattle right at the end. They'll kind of just be like, what did cattle do this week? So do check them out. Somebody here says, that's Dr. Butt Effer 2000 to you, Logan.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I got to give him the laugh. This one here said, I'd blank her shadow on a gravel driveway is one I was told at a young age. So I'd F her shadow on a gravel driveway. Yep, that's another good one.
That just doesn't sound fun.
That does not sound fun. It actually makes me...
She better be a special lady.
You know, a friend of ours, he's now deceased, but he was a funny guy. He was a mechanic. You'll know who I'm talking about. Hell of a welder.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
So I used to hang out with him up at the shop, and
probably not the best influence on a young man.
I was going to say, heard things.
At the age you were.
I was probably 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 17 years old. Maybe even, I was probably about 17. But, yeah, I was hearing, hell, I'd even see some things sometimes I probably shouldn't see. But because he was so cool to me at the time because he wouldn't come into work. He'd come in at like 12 o'clock, and he would work until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, he had his own shop, so he'd keep his own hours.
He kept his own hours. And he was just he could do anything. You know, he built this badass, like, old square body Chevy. But he was hilarious. And I'll never forget one time he was telling me he was at a party. Like, he would get pretty rowdy sometimes. And not really, like, drinking. He just really liked, he was like old Ted Nugent. He liked the women. You know, like, he was all about the women. But he said that they went out to the sandbar. And some dude had gotten really plastered, and he was banging a chick over on the sandbar.
Yeah, I hope you had a blanket.
He didn't.
Otherwise, that's going to get, ooh.
Well, it got even better because apparently he was so plastered that he came out of her and was just cracking the hell out of the sandbar.
Oh,
and
Lord.
Like, he was so...
This took a sudden turn.
Oh, dude, Timmy was telling me, like, man, he said that thing was so red, and like, I think it swelled up on him because he
Lord,
just...
was he administering first aid?
He chafed, Jimmy was telling me, he was like, man, he said he was all tore up. Like, he basically just slipped out and just kept going with the sand and chafed his goober.
Oh, Lord, we're going to get like an extra explicit rating on this one.
We're not even 10 minutes in yet.
Oh, my gosh.
But, man, could you imagine? Sounds terrible. I just don't think I would do it laying out on the sand like that.
Well, immediately when you mentioned the sandbar and sexual activity, I was immediately like, yeah.
Sounds like a mixture for pain. But yeah, well, that was what I thought of there. Yeah, man. And
I don't even know how we got there.
I don't remember how we got there either. Talking about chafing or something.
Well, I don't even, or just talking about bad influences at a young age.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. How did we get there? Well, hell, I don't remember. But yeah, anyways, I did. I heard a lot of things.
That's what it was. We were talking about,
Yeah, I did. I heard a lot of things up there. It was funny. I learned a lot at that age. It's probably why I'm so unfiltered today. But anyways.
Oh, well, that reminded me, you were talking about he'd come in at noon, but then he worked till 1 in. And this reminds me of, and I still don't know who the person is that says that they think I only work till like 11 a.m. It was kind of like a meme or something. Said, the great thing about being self-employed is you only have to work part-time, and you get to pick which 12 hours you work.
Yeah.
So that is so damn accurate.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, you only have to work 12 hours out of the day.
Just which 12.
And you get to pick the 12.
Yeah.
And he picked noon,
the later 12.
Noon to midnight,
and
basically.
it was funny because it would, like Dad, he used to drive Dad crazy because Dad is the opposite. Dad was like, he's gonna get there at the shop at, he'd get there 5:30, 6 o'clock, make coffee and all that, and then 5 o'clock rolled around, and then they shut the shop down and were gone. And yeah, this dude was just the polar opposite. And Dad always be like, "Man, I don't know why he won't get here. He needs to get here at a normal time." Like, it used to drive him crazy. But
yeah, still putting in the same number of hours, getting the same amount of shit done, just on a totally different schedule.
Yep, kind of running the vampire hours.
And that's what I'm like in the vet clinic, and primarily because I like to farm and do other stuff too. But I always say, like, I wish we could open it. I'd get there at 6 and knock off about 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But
give you some hours of daylight still out there too.
Well, and I'm an early riser. Like I'm that's where the time, and I know everybody hates the time change, and I do too, to an extent. But every morning right now, I'm like, God dang it, I wish time would change. Because I can't get shit done in the mornings right now.
It's so black outside, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not daylight till, like, sunrise is getting close to 7 a.m. now, and hell, I need to be back home in the shower and getting the kids loaded up by the time it gets daylight.
Yeah, well, you need to be getting on agzaga.com.
You're damn right.
And you need to be ordering. When it's that dark, hell, do they got flashlights on there?
I would be shocked though. I've been ordering, which rarely a week goes by that I don't order.
Yeah.
And I put in an order this week. I actually ordered a big bulky item, but they're on it. Like, they literally were on the phone with me next morning, like, "Hey, got this item coming to you."
They're quick. They are fast.
Well, and this is something that I mean, it's big and heavy. Well, I'll tell you, because you might want to order one for yourself. It's a bale spear basically, but I kind of custom designed one because they sell the spears separate from like the frame.
Oh yeah.
They were calling me. They're like, "Hey, do we need to put this on a truck with a lift gate, or do you have a way to unload it?" Which I guess I was being naive. I was like, I didn't even know it was going to come on a big truck. But they're like, "All right." They're like, "We'll get it there. Truck driver's going to call you. You'll know when it's coming." I was like, "All right," and I can coordinate which day. Because I was like, yeah, if they can just come on a day that I'm off, because I mean, you know where I live. I live at the end of a dead end road. It's with a big truck. I mean, a skilled driver can get in and out of there.
It was fun. I used to, man, because there's one spot, but people don't know, like, Bobby Lee lives on, like, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow Road or something. Like, and you got to make a curve.
It's a one-lane gravel road.
And it's like a vertical drop-off on the side that'll kill your whole family if you go off of it.
Everybody thinks it's all flat land here in the Mississippi Delta. Well, we live up in the ridges.
Yeah, there's some bluffs. And, man, I used to pucker up every time because there used to be grain down there on Bobby Lee's place. And I'd have to drive a semi in there. And right in that darn curve, there's also a tree that, like, juts out. And I'd have to, I'd hug it. My front tire would be like skirting over there. I used to draw up.
Which, I mean, of course, just a gooseneck trailer, or of course, it's a pickup. It's not a big deal. But when it's icy coming around that curve, you do, because you're going it's just a little downhill. And yeah, if you hit it in slick, yeah, you're going off. But
yeah, you better tell Willis when he gets about 16, he better slow his roll on there.
Well, the last crop we planted on that farm, it was actually coming out of there with a planter. They tore the marker off.
Yeah,
coming around that curve, it hung a tree.
Yeah,
and that's when they were like, "Yeah, Bobby Lee just needs to put cows back there. we don't need to keep planting a crop on that ground," which is good, some good creek bottom ground. But,
yeah, the lower bottom ground. Yeah, it was.
But yeah, Agzaga, they'll deliver it to you. Anything you need, those bale spears, bale net wrap, and God knows everything else you can think of. Discount code is TalkDirt20. I'm getting $20 off that order. They're shipping it. It's still I almost feel bad they're shipping it free. Like,
oh wow,
it's coming like special freight on like a big truck. I'm not paying a dime for that.
That's got to be costing a fortune to do that. I would think.
But they care about you guys.
That's right.
They'll ship it for free. Y'all check them out. Use that code.
Yep. And then the other people that care about you is Tractor Mat. And Tractor Mat, made in USA. I just got mine in yesterday for my combine. So I'm excited.
Right.
I gotta clean her out in the morning, and I'm gonna put my Tractor Mat down in my 680.
Well, I got a message from one of our faithful listeners, Marcus. He sent me a picture of his box. He just got one in.
Nice.
So,
awesome.
See, I'll be like Marcus.
Dude, Guys, we tell you, code is Talk Dirt, all caps, all one word, 15% off,
yep.
and it's just tractormat.com.
Yep.
Tractormat.com, M-A-T, Tractormat. Guys, we can't tell you enough. It helps us when you do that. Like, if you're a supportive listener of this show, please go to agsaga.com and order using our code, and please go to TractorMat and order and use our code. It shows companies like, hey, these guys are actually worth a damn.
Somebody listens to them.
That's right. So
there may only be 2 of y'all, but we just need both of y'all to put in multiple orders.
That's right. Just order a bunch. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, man, I don't know. What was that? There was something I was going to tell you about. Did I already told you about my concaves.
I know you told me, but that was at the family reunion.
Oh, I didn't tell on air?
No.
Okay, the Estes Concaves that I got.
You know, I didn't want to call them out by name, but somebody else, I'm trying to think who I was listening to. May have been the Barn Talk guys. Somebody else was talking about they're running those new concaves.
Well, they're badass. They're badass. I put them in yesterday. Me and Brock put them in. So let me tell you guys how this came to be, because it's no secret that right now is not a grand time financially in agriculture.
Yeah, all you farmers, y'all just spend money like crazy.
We do. Hell, man, we do, apparently. And my tailings on my 680 had been messing up.
Which you did tell that story.
Okay, about the tailings?
Tailings elevator and all.
It spit the chain out.
Yep.
So, well, the mechanic, or one of the techs from John Deere, was out there, and he was talking, and he got to tell me, he said, man, there's these concaves that so-and-so down the road runs. Them things are bad to the bone. He was like, man, you get like no tailings, don't lose any grain. He's like, they're bad, and they're not dealers for these.
Which makes me wonder, like, why doesn't John Deere just, like, John Deere is supposed to be like the, like, most badass innovator in all of agriculture. Why can't they make a good concave to go in their combine?
I don't know. And I think they might.
Is it just that that's such a tiny piece of the combine that then this company, Estes, is just like, all right, we're going to focus on this. We're going to perfect it even more so than Deere has? Probably,
because it's pretty intricate compared to the ones from Deere.
But I would still think, like, you're Deere. Like,
oh, yeah, I mean, I agree.
Deere, and as tough as the times are in ag right now, Deere could take probably 20 engineers and be like, dudes, or dudettes too. Hey, girls can be engineers.
Yeah.
For the next year, I want y'all to do nothing but just figure out concaves. Like, and like, just get this shit right where nobody will ever need an aftermarket concave. And I mean, I'm not trying to put Estes or any those other companies out of business, but like, still kind of amazes me that
I'm with
Deere doesn't have the most badass of everything to go in their machines.
No, I'm with you, but I will say
they don't even put a decent mat in their machines.
They don't. They don't.
You'd think they could get a decent mat, but no, you go to Tractor Mat if you want.
You got to put that in there. Now these are so. I talked to the guy at Estes because I was curious. I was like, man, I gotta find out about these things, and I was like, I need to find out how much they are, because I've spent a lot of money on a slip clutch and now a tailings elevator chain. And I'm like, if this is going to be a recurring problem, I need to try to remedy it. And so I called Estes, or did an inquiry online. They called me and all this. We talked. Well, I was at Verizon because my phone had started messing up, so I was having to get a different phone. And while I was in there, I was talking to him. So I was like, I'm like half-ass paying attention. I mean, he's telling me how bad to the bone these things are. I mean, they actually are supposed to like increase or decrease your fuel usage by 10 to 20% because the combine's not as loaded now, and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, and these are claims that are like very well backed up by even people that I know. And so I'm like, all right. So I asked him, I said, well, how much are they? Because this was the XPR3 kit, which is like their newest, baddest ones. And it's like 7 pieces, or it's 5 pieces. And I'm like, all right. He says $1,095. Now I just remember thinking, I'm like, he said $1,095 is how I heard it. And I'm like, dang, that's really good. Like, that's a good price. And I kept telling him, I said, man, I'm really surprised. That's a great price. And he's like, well, we try to be competitive. Like, and I don't know. I didn't put it all together, I guess, just ignorant. And so I'm like, you know what? Hell, if I'm going to keep having these trouble, I want to get a set. And so, and then he was like, he knew who the guy is that has them locally here. And he said, now he's running the like 7-piece kit. Do you want the upgraded kit that he's running that has 2 additional pieces that go in the back? And it's like, how much more is that? And he was like, that's $12.50. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Let me just get these. And so, he's like, all right, I'll email you an invoice, which this is cool. I'm kind of singing the praise. This can be like our Made in USA early, because Estes was really cool. Like I think they're out of Texas, and I'm pretty sure they're Made in USA by this company.
I can look them up while you're talking.
Look them up, because I can't remember where, but they're Made in USA. But also the guy was like, we'll send you the concaves, and when you get them, you can just mail us a check. Now that's pretty old school. Like, you don't hear that often anymore.
No, that absolutely is.
And I thought that was pretty cool. And so then to further talk about how cool they are, and we're not sponsored by Estes. If they want to offer us a discount on these things now, that'd be great. But the guy sends me an invoice. Marcy and I go and we're eating lunch, and I get an alert. I get an email invoice, and he tells me, he's like, we're going to try to get these things shipped out to you really fast so that you can, because it was wet. This was right after it rained. And I told him, I was like, man, the quicker I can get them, the better, because it's wet. It'll give me time to put them in. So we're in there eating, and I get the email, and it's from Estes, so I pull it up, and it's the invoice. And I'm like, oh, nice. That was quick. And I look down there, and it's $10,995. And I was like, whoa, shit. And so, man, I instantly emailed back and was like, dude, I can't do this, man. I said, I'm help. I was like, this is not a great time in ag. I was like, man, I can't be spending $10,000. I was like, and I was real nice. I said, that was my own ignorance. I thought you said $1,095. So he calls me. He's like, hey, man, I just got your email. He's like, man, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. And I said, dude, it's my fault. I guess I said I was an idiot thinking they were $1,000. And he's like, well, I guess I should have been more clear. He's like, yeah, man, they're $10,000. And he said, man, I'm telling you, you're going to like these. He said, and you will pay for them, because they claim, what I tell you, 2 to 3 bushel acre loss out the back of the combine.
Right.
That's the standard thing. They say you're around 2 bushels. So, I mean, if you cut 1,000, or no, what do we say, 500 acres of corn, that's 10,000 bushels. Is my math? No, it's 1,000 bushels. Now, hell, that's way off. How many? 500 acres. I'm getting all 500 acres of corn, 2 bushels acre.
That'd be
1,000
bushels.
Okay, 1,000 bushels of corn. That's like $4,000. But what is beans? Because beans is kind of where they say they shine.
So in beans, what's the?
It'd be $1,010. They're $10,000. So you could pay for them in 500 acres is kind of what they say. So the guy's like, well, man, we've already got these on the truck. They're already coming to you. He said, I understand things are tight right now. He said, but here's what I want you to do. He said, you just get them. And he said, I'm going to change the invoice. I'm going to put on there our performance guarantee. He said, if you're not pleased with them or whatever, he said, after harvest, you just send them back. He said, we'll get them. We'll just come get them. And he said, no charge. He said, we won't charge you anything. He said, we'll just take them back. But he said, I guarantee you're going to want to keep them because they're awesome. And so I was laughing today because we put them in yesterday. Now, these things, do you know what the concaves are?
I mean, I know what they look like mainly just because I'm on their website.
Are they made in Texas?
They are made in USA. It doesn't specifically say Texas, but yeah.
Okay.
Made in the United States.
Well, they're these like big curved pieces that go up inside the combine. And
makes sense.
Yeah.
I can remember that from like science.
They're the concave.
Concave and convex.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, they're concaved. But you have to pull out the old ones, and my old ones were wore out. I mean, they were wore out, which my combine, I had noticed some loss out the back. Now, my combine's got separator has 1,800 hours on it or something. And so John Deere has just the old standard round bar concaves. Mine were actually flat on the face up there where they had just gotten wore out. Yeah. So I really needed new concaves. And me and Brock put these in. Damn, they're heavy as hell. Like Brock was like, I hope you ate your Wheaties this morning. And so we had to put them in there, and you fight them in there, and I got them in, and then you got to level the concave, and so we did all this stuff and got it set. It took us it was probably about a 6-hour job for me and Brock.
Damn.
And they're just heavy, and man, I'm wore out. And so I was talking to one of our buddies that sells stuff to us today, and I told him about it, and I said, I know what that sneaky bastard was up to at Estes. And he goes, what's that? And I said, he was like, you just take them and try them. And he's like, because he knows, he's like, once he puts them in that combine, he damn sure ain't taking them back out. And I'm just, look, they are awesome. There ain't shit behind my combine. Like, yeah. I have been shelling corn.
Those poor deer.
Those poor deer are going to starve to death back there, man. If there's corn on the ground, it's just from a header loss. It ain't coming out the back.
We just renewed our duck lease. I hope the guy that farms that place doesn't
is not using those. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, man, I am impressed so far.
I want him using some Chinese-made shit. I want grain all over the ground.
Yeah, you want like the grates to be like blowing off that concave and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's beans, I think, is when they really seem to shine. So I'm excited to try them in beans, but it's pretty awesome. So there's a couple of things we got to talk about. And let me see here. I think it sounds like a bigger deal than it actually is.
I'm going to hit on something last week. They've apparently shot down, because we recorded, I don't remember what night, we were talking about the welfare checks for the cattle. Mm-hmm. and the heifers ain't happening.
I think Brooke Rollins like adamantly shot it down, didn't she?
Which goes back to what I kind of said last week. I was like, I wonder if they floated that idea out there to like just kind of dip their toe in the water and like, let's just leak this information to a few media and have them and see what the reaction is. It was so overwhelmingly negative. They're like, we were never really.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
We weren't really going to give welfare checks for you to retain heifers. But it got shot down. I think by the time our episode came out, it was almost. Our news cycle goes so damn fast these days.
It does, man.
We almost need to record on Friday mornings.
Yeah. Like
we used to. But no, I'm not suggesting that.
Me neither.
4 a.m. But yeah, we're not. Don't worry, the non-welfare people and all the cattle people like me that were like, no, we really don't want y'all messing with our stuff. Not going to be a welfare check, not specifically. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
My theory is still they floated that out there just to see what was going on. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that I had seen that. All right, so this sounds like a big deal upon first reading it, but have you seen where the USDA commits to $480 million to boost U.S. farmers and feed the world? They're going to basically buy some of our commodities to use to feed the world. Have you seen that?
Yeah, but like we talked about last week, we need about $65 billion.
Yeah, this isn't.
That's basically $500 million.
Yeah, this isn't given to farmers. This is actually they're using this money to buy the commodities,
which is fine. I mean, that's I guess good, but it's not even close to.
No, see, that was my thing. Like here, so
because how much would China have normally bought in a regular year by now?
Oh gosh, yeah, I can't. It's substantial.
China has spent exactly $0 on soybeans.
On the 25-26 season, China has bought nothing from the United States on that. Like,
I need to come buy a bushel of soybeans from you just so I can say I bought more soybeans.
More than China.
From the U.S. than the entire country of
China. Your cattle, you can grind up soybeans and feed it to them, can't you?
I mean, in reality, I will buy soybeans because when I put mine on feed around Thanksgiving, I feed, of course, whole shelf. I mean, of course, a lot of our guests have got my feed plan, which is the feed plan I use. I did not develop it. But yeah, I use soybean meal as my protein source. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, this 480 million is 417,000 metric tons of American-grown commodities. That is 16 million bushels of row crops, around that. Now, again, so people are like, hey, that's pretty good. And look, anything that can kind of move the needle in the right direction, hey, go ahead.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, so here's the numbers I was looking for. I had kind of done a little prep work here. So 417,000 metric tons sounds like a lot. But for context,
it is a lot if you're talking about like off one farm.
Yeah, how much metric tons of corn do you think are produced in the U.S.?
Oh, it's I don't know how a metric ton converts to a bushel, but I mean it's nothing.
Yeah, so if they're going to buy 417,000 metric tons of U.S. produce or commodity.
How many bushels of corn would that be?
Of corn, I don't know, but I can tell you how many the U.S. produces. About 380 million metric tons of corn.
And how many are they buying?
417,000.
417,000 versus 318.
380 million.
Yeah.
And now that's just corn. We also produce 120 million metric tons of soybeans and then 45 million metric tons of wheat.
How much are they buying? 417?
417,000 metric tons.
Okay.
It says, so this purchase is well under 0.1% of the total U.S. grain production.
0.1%, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the number you need.
It's not going to shift the markets for farmers. Like, that's the thing. Like, it says there's no real expectation of us seeing soybeans or corn or anything go up in price because this is not enough to move the needle. But
yeah, ChatGPT says 1 metric ton of wheat, because I didn't give it the commodity, is 36 bushels.
Okay. All right, so what is 36 times 380 million?
Well, I'm going to do 36 times the 417,000. So if it was wheat, they're buying 15 million bushels of wheat.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, if you're talking about...
Well, we produce 545 million metric tons of grain a year.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's not nothing, but it is basically nothing.
Yeah, like I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad that they're trying to find some way to use some of our stuff.
It makes a good headline because it sounds like, hey, they're trying to help, but it's literally like taking a water gun to a 5-alarm fire.
Yes.
You're like, hey, we're helping, and like, yeah, that's helping, but it's not. I mean, it's literally a drop in a bucket.
It literally is. Oh, wait. Hey, before I go any further, though, this is real quick. I got to change subject. My local bakery up here, Mount Zion, we had a listener go in the other day. And I guess this is his first time because I went in to get my, like, usual cookie. And the girl that owns it, she said, hey, one of your listeners came in here the other day. And I said, really? And she was like, yes. Said he came in and was like, hey, I heard about this place from a podcast. That's what she goes. She was like, crap, he's going to go up on egg prices on me to cover the marketing costs. But I said, well, who was he? And she was like, well, I don't know who he was. I didn't ask his name. But she said, when he said a podcast recommended, she was like, is it a farmer's podcast? And he was like, yep, it is. And so she said, y'all are the only farmers I know that do this. So,
I was discussing them today, just came up because, of course, I can't eat cookies, but my wife, I guess, our fall break starts, I guess, end of the day tomorrow.
Yep.
So it's the end of the 9 weeks or whatever. She's like, our daughter has all A's. And I was like, well, hell yeah. And she's like, we need to do something special for her. I was like, let's go to Mount Zion and get her a cookie. And she's like, she needs more than a cookie. And I'm like,
these are next level cookies.
I was like, well, I mean, we've had them for. I was like, well, when she gets to be my age, she won't get to eat them, and so she needs to enjoy them while she can get them.
Yeah.
So my wife's like, well, no guarantee she's gonna be diabetic. I'm like, I ain't diabetic. I'm pre-diabetic. But
are you gonna eat one if you go?
Usually my I'll pinch a corner off of one.
Man.
We had some for our office, like summer big cookout party.
Yeah.
That's what I told my office manager, who was, because they're always like, what do we need to bring? You know, because we hosted at my house. I'm like, look, I am smoking lots of meats. I was like, as far as I'm concerned, that's all I mean, that's about all I eat anyway, you know, just trying to keep my diet right. I was like, if y'all want anything other than meat, yeah, go get some potato salad, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I'm smoking all the meats. And I was like, if y'all are going to go get desserts, and that's what they did. They went and got a bunch of cookies from Mount Zion.
Well, that's what I did. You know, when y'all had the gathering there that one night and me and Marcy came, we ran by Mount Zion and got a bunch of cookies. I mean, it's a badass bakery. They got awesome stuff, but
yeah, those cookies are a damn.
Like, they're big cookies.
I mean, literally, like if you eat a quarter of one with a big dollop of ice cream, that's a normal size dessert.
Yeah, but I just eat a whole one.
Well, yeah.
I eat a whole one, but now I eat one a week. I have back down because and like I was saying, I didn't tell you though, my alcohol. I was about to talk about why.
You mentioned, you hadn't had a drink in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is, I think I'd had 2 beers in 3 weeks. But, dude, with the way farming was, I was about to kill over and have a damn heart attack, stressing so much. So I was like, I was chewing tobacco and I was drinking. I started drinking pretty regularly. Not like I wasn't getting drunk or like every single night, but I'd have a drink probably 3 or 4 nights of whiskey a night. Not 3 or 4 whiskeys a night. Somebody's going to think that's what I'm saying. But, man, I was just freaking stressed out all the damn time. And so, shit, I'd wake up stressed out. And then one of my good buddies that's not even 40 years old yet, he had to go have a heart cath put in because he was like having chest pains, and he's an entrepreneurial guy. Like he's self-employed, and the stress guy like damn near gave him a heart attack.
Well, he only has to work part-time.
That's true. He's self-employed.
Yeah. He gets to pick which 12 hours he works.
Yeah.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Well, that's which, last night I had cows out, and God dang. And normally I drink beer
throughout the day, every day.
No, on most days that end in Y. Like at the end of the day, I will. But like my kids support it. Like I'm not one of those, like, I don't drink beer before I go take my kids to ball practice or whatever. But like we were getting those cows back in. We finally got them back in. I was like, God dang it, I want to get home and drink beer. But I already said, I was like, and I knew, I was like, I'm gonna get home just in time to get to ball practice. I'm like, I'm gonna crush a beer, then grab some water. And I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah, I was like, well, it was just like the stress. And I mean, my stress on that was, which I had 13 calves out. That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I got them back in, but yeah, I was thinking like, I'm gonna have a beer before I go to ball practice tonight.
Well, I mean,
a beer,
a
single beer.
Well, that's what I'll tell you, cutting out nicotine, because I stopped on both the same day. And so it was kind of
no nicotine at all.
No, I ain't had an ounce of nicotine in literally 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you, now it's gotten pretty easy. But man, I tell you, last week I was jonesing for some chewing tobacco. Like, we were just working on the farm, and hell, Dad and them both are dipping like crazy again, and then on top of that, they got Copenhagen Wintergreen, which is that was my favorite. But it's just every time they'd open a can, I'd be like, damn it, I just wanted some chewing tobacco because I like chew. And man, there was several times I was like, I'm about to go to the store, I'm gonna get me a bag, and I just would keep putting it off, and then I finally wouldn't go. And that's what I do with alcohol. Like, there'd be several nights, maybe wife and kids go to bed, and I'm staying up watching something, and I'm like, hell, I'm going to have a drink. And I'll be like, I'll wait about 15 minutes. And I just keep postponing it, and then I just don't have one.
Well, I mean, but you always got the cocaine.
The cocaine is definitely that's what really kind of levels me out.
Pick you up,
Yeah, I mean, it's Squat-tober, so I just hit a bump in the morning there before I'm good. I get a little toot, and then I'm good to go, man. I mean, Are you partaking in the cocaine and the squat-tober?
I'm not doing both. I'll say that.
Well, you're missing out, man. Squat-tober. We're only day 3 tomorrow, so you still got time to jump in.
I mean, I don't do like formal squats, but like I do like the farmer carry every morning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're a squatter.
I mean, I do squat at my house. my wife lets me stay.
Yeah, yeah.
Or really, it's more like the dogs.
Yeah.
Like my dogs have a bed and they let me sleep in it with
Let
them.
you sleep in it. Well, that's
I mean, the dogs outnumber the people in the bed.
yeah. Well, yeah. How many dogs sleep in y'all's bed? 5?
No.
3?
3 to 4.
Now you're like, no. When I say 5, it's like, well, it's actually only 1 less.
Well, I'm like, well, at certain times there are 5 dogs on my bed. Usually not 5 all at once.
And
That's why I say me and all my bitches go to bed.
are they all female dogs?
Yeah, there's me and a bunch of bitches in there.
Oh man, yeah. None of ours.
There's 3 for sure in the bed every night. No, I take it back. One is a male, but he's the biggest bitch of them all. So,
Yeah. Which one is that? Brown dog?
No, Archie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he literally is the biggest bitch of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have. None of ours sleep in the bed. Marcy won't let them.
Wow.
They're too hairy. That's what they shed like crazy.
Well, I only have one, like, what I would say is a big dog. Both your dogs are big dogs. And my one big dog actually sleeps with my son.
Oh, really?
But she'll get on our bed, but usually
Which
not.
one is that? Sadie?
Sadie.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah, none of ours do, but I don't know, man. I tell you, the stress was a damn near. I mean, to the point, like, hell, I for a little while I was like, I'm about to snap. I'm about to lose my shit. I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, you're better off having a whiskey than a nervous breakdown.
I am.
I'm gonna say that's better for your overall health.
But I'll tell you, like, after I quit the chewing and the I don't drink hard. Like I said, I don't hardly ever drink no more, and my stress levels have significantly declined. And I've also just reached a point where I'm like, you know what? At this point, it is what it is.
Well, and I'm certainly not a human doctor, but I would say alcohol's like a lot of things, in moderation.
Yeah,
moderation being the key term. Yeah, I mean there are, and I know some people freak out about this. There's probably some health benefits.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody knows. Hell, you drink too much water, it can kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, anything in excess can be a bad thing. But if you can, I mean, they talk about the health benefits of drinking a glass of wine.
Red wine, yeah.
Which my wife here lately, which it's cooling off a little bit. It's hard for me to drink wine, even if I'm eating like some red meat.
Yeah.
When it's like hotter than hell. But now it's kind of cooling off a little bit. Like, okay, we got some steaks on the grill. I'll sip a little glass of wine.
Man, I just like whiskey. Even in the summertime, like I like whiskey.
I like whiskey. I like beer. I like red wine.
Well, I'm with you. I kind of do too. I mean, I drink some beer.
Not much of a vodka or tequila guy. I mean, if that's
I actually like vodka, but I don't like tequila.
Yeah.
I like gin.
If I'm somewhere and that's what there is and we're partying, like I'll make do. But
yeah, well, but man, I tell you, it's I think we just got to get to the place where, like, me and Brock were talking yesterday. I'm like, man, because everybody is in bad shape in the row crop world. Everybody's in bad shape. Like, even the high states that are usually killing it, they're in bad shape, and so we're all operating at costs that are beyond our production, like our income, and so it's like, damn. And man, that's what Brock was like, man, at the end of the day, none of it even matters. And I'm like, what do you mean? And it's funny, I guess this is a funny conversation to have after talking about our cocaine and that whiskey, but like, Brock was like, man, all that matters in the day is if you got to walk with God. He was like, because that's all that actually matters.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know if some of it's just getting older or maybe everybody goes through this, but like, you know, you kind of had those moments where you're like, what is even the point of all this? You know?
Yeah.
And like, when I take like an extreme step back and like just the total like universe as a whole, like
the tiny blip you are in that.
Like our galaxy even is nothing in the grand expanse of existence. And then we're a tiny planet, we're a tiny solar system within this tiny galaxy and on this planet, and like, what are we even doing?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, I think kind of everybody maybe goes call it midlife crisis or whatever. It's like, what is even the purpose of life? What's the meaning of life? What are we even doing here? What are we accomplishing? Like, all this stuff we have, the stuff we do, like, in the grand scheme of existence of everything, what does it even mean? And not to get like totally philosophical.
No, well, I mean,
but it's like, and that's where I go back to, like, what is my purpose on this earth? Like I won't. Like, I mean, I guess just as a parent, you especially, like, you just want your kids to do better than you did, or just to be happy, really happy and healthy.
Yeah.
And like, and then I come back to, like, I just want to leave the world a better place than what I found it. You know, be nice to people. Yeah. You know, contribute, you know, to society in some small way. Just, I don't know. Like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, does the price of soybeans and corn in the year 2025, is that going to matter 1,000 years from now?
No.
And like, and we live and die with, you know, nickel change in the market, you know, from one day to the next. And like, what does that even matter in the greater existence of everything?
Have you been listening to some Creed?
You know the song,
"What's this life for?"
I know the song. One of my favorite Creed songs, which I don't want to get us there. You know, I told our listeners last week, well, my son and I went down to the Tennessee Mississippi State football game.
Yeah.
Hell of a game. More of a game than what we wanted it to be, but hey, we won. One of my favorite like videos from that, which when you win, like, everything's great. It's the touchdown winning run by Deshaun Bishop, like in slow motion to Higher by Creed.
Oh yeah.
I was like, for some reason that is just badass. Just like it's like him in slow motion and like no homo. You can just see the muscles like as he's running, and it's just, as a Tennessee fan, it's beautiful. It's like that song was just perfect.
That is a great song. I mean, it's just any Creed to anything is bad. Like, you know, that's like they did the Super Bowl halftime. When was that?
Did they really?
Wasn't
I don't even remember that.
It was with the. Oh man, wasn't it the Super Bowl? They were in Dallas Cowboys attire. Scott Stapp.
That may have been like the Thanksgiving like game. Or whatever.
I bet you that's what it was. Boy, could you imagine?
The Super Bowl gets weirder and weirder. Somebody was like, they're all up in arms about whoever's playing the Super Bowl.
Bad Bunny?
And I'm like,
I've never even heard of them.
I was too, but like apparently it's like a Dominican rapper who's like a Satanist or something.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Holy shit. Like, fortunately for me, halftime is, well, usually we're pretty deep into the beers, and we always have a gathering for the Super Bowl, and we have so many people over, or I'm over at somebody's house.
Bobby's usually naked at that point.
yeah, we're showing off
orgy in the pool there,
and parts of our body people didn't even know we had now.
Got my Prince Albert out at that point.
But I, like the last few Super Bowl halftime shows, I couldn't even tell you who played the Super Bowl halftime show this last year.
If I heard a song by Bad Bunny, I'd have no earthly idea.
I remember can you believe that? Like, I don't know. Are they a Satanist? I don't know. Whatever.
Well,
but like, it is like, what? Like, why is that? Like, can we not get like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, somebody like Creed that like everybody be like, all right, yeah, they're a little bit past their prime, but like, hell yeah, brother. Like,
dude, and they freaking rock ass out, man. Like, I'm telling you, man.
Somebody like them would like crush it. People
they
would be
would.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is awesome.
See, I apparently am a boomer now because there was a meme going around, and it was it was talking about people complaining about Bad Bunny, and it said all these boomers complaining about Bad Bunny because they want Metallica to play the halftime show, and I'm like, could you imagine
Holy
what an epic halftime show that'd be?
I could name a bunch that would be awesome. Like, maybe I'm really biased here, but like, they got like Brooks and Dunn to play it.
Brooks and Dunn would be pretty good. I'm not a huge country guy, but I could get down with them.
I'm that kind of country guy.
I like the '90s, some boot scoot and boogie. Alan Jackson. I like some Alan Jackson.
If they could do like a '90s country like reunion where it was like,
just don't say Garth Brooks.
I could get behind some Garth.
Garth would have to hide all the dead bodies before he could come out there.
If they had like Brooks and Dunn and like Travis Tritt and like
Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, Kenny's all right. He's an East Tennessee guy. Like,
he's gay. Come on, man.
He might be, but I mean that's in vogue now. Or like even like,
just don't say Rascal Flatts.
Oh my God, no.
Your brother used to love Rascal Flatts.
I'm gonna ask you about that tomorrow. Like I've always said Rascal Flatts was a boy band, a failed boy band that just went country. But
hey, you want to know a cheesy one that I kind of like?
Small Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight's good. I'm gonna tell you a cheesy one that I like. I only know like two of their songs.
Bring out like Sammy
Big
Kershaw.
and Rich.
Big and Rich.
I just like that dum 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 dum. Hey, Sammy Kershaw was Marcy and I. We danced to "Love of My Life" when we got married.
Oh, my wife's first
the trailer
dance,
park
Queen of my double wide trailer was our first dance. And I failed her because I never even had put her in a double wide.
Oh damn! You need to upgrade to a double wide.
Yeah, no, that would, if they did like a '90s country like mashup of like had 4 or 5 of those, like I don't know, maybe it would fall flat. Like people, but I think people my age would be like, oh hell yeah.
Well, there's a lot of, I think if you took, that or and Creed. I mean, I do think Creed would be humongous.
Even I'm trying to think, did like Aerosmith do it one year?
He may have. I think Aerosmith might have. The Who, didn't the Who do it one year, and it was pretty terrible because they're like 150 years old. But the Who did it one year. Janet Jackson was memorable.
Well, and they got into that for a while,
titty.
which I'm sitting here. Yeah, her and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, that one's memorable. I was a young kid. I still remember that one.
See, I kind of miss that. Like
she had a big ass piercing on her titty.
They made a lot bigger deal out of it than it really was.
Well, you couldn't see it. She had like a big thing, it was like a big. I guess it was a humongous nipple piercing.
Was it? Because they tried to act like it was an accident.
Because he reached over. I'm like, why'd she have this giant piercing thing on her nipple if it wasn't staged?
But well, they went through a thing there for a while where it was always like old, washed up, and here I am saying like bring out a bunch of old, washed up country people, but that's because there is no more. Well, I say that there are some good new country artists out there, but they're not the ones they even play on the radio.
No, yeah, no. I just don't want. What'll probably end up happening is you'll probably have like a Taylor Swift here soon because they've like taken over football and stuff now with Travis Kelce. But
I mean, and I know she's. I actually, when I got in the tractor yesterday, I was moving some hay, and that tractor doesn't have a Bluetooth, so I have to plug my phone in if I want to listen to something. And so it was on the country station, and the DJ was gushing over how she passed like over 100 million records sold or something. And I was like, I can probably think of a couple of songs that she sings, but like I can't name shit from her. Like,
I don't know that I could name.
I know she's got the Shake It Off or whatever. The haters gonna hate, shake it off, shake it off.
Haters gonna hate. How does it go? Come on, I sang on here.
All right, so haters gonna hate. You gotta shake it off, shake it off.
All right, I think I do know. Yeah. All right.
Something along, and that's literally all I could say. But like I remember when she was probably like 16 years old when she was like truly doing country.
Yeah. I hated her then too.
Well, I didn't think it was great by any means. No, that's where I go back to. Yeah, I want some Alan Jackson, some Travis Tritt. the 90s country.
Yeah. 90s country's good. I mean, hey, I gotta like 90s country. My preacher was in the scene.
That's right, yeah.
You know, he was playing the keyboard for Joe D. Messina, and
Yeah.
I think he might even, I can't remember who all, he may tour with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how we got down that rabbit hole.
We're all over the place.
We
We're
are.
sorry.
That's all right. I think our audience is used to it.
We don't apologize.
No. Y'all are used to it. But yeah, guys, take care of yourself to the best that you can. And a good way to do that is Squattober is going on right now.
Yeah, Squattober, sponsored by Swornex.
Swornex, man, and it is awesome. I mean, like I said, it's been getting me up. I've been getting up at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it. But I have the back of an 80-year-old man. So like when I get up, it takes me really about 30 minutes before my lower back is kind of like limbered up. And I mean, hell, I've been to PT for my back, but I roll out of bed at 5:30 in the morning, and I get dressed and I go straight into the gym. And so I'm like in warming up after getting out of bed for like, I've been out of bed maybe 6 minutes.
You set the coffee maker before you go to bed?
No, because after I work out really hard, I actually don't want any coffee for about an hour. Like it kind of, because I'm usually kind of like amped up from the workout. And so I don't drink coffee for a little while. Now, if it's raining or something, and we're not, yeah, I know, seriously, but if I'm not doing anything like that afternoon, I do like to drink a cup of black coffee before I go lift.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of, it's a good I don't like pre-workout, but I like a black coffee. But Squattober, you guys should do it. If you're on Instagram, just Swornex Squattober. It's all over there. Bobby Lee's going to do it.
I'll do some body weight squats.
Well, it's good, and it's legit programming. Like it's not like just go in there and do squats every day. Like they're high level.
Shit, I'll at some point in time tomorrow I'll have to squat down and put a 100-pound dog up on the table.
Tomorrow I got to do cluster squats with 235 or 250. Can't remember, but I
doubt I'll have a patient that heavy. Yeah.
You see any 250-pound dogs?
Very, very, very few. No, I would dare say none that big.
Yeah.
See some 150-pounders.
Yeah. Dang. Well, hey, before let's see. Let me get in a couple of these emails real quick.
Well, and while you're looking those up, there was one recent news story that's not totally local to us, but somewhat. It's in Tennessee. I'll read you the headline. Jack Daniels scraps partnership with farmers in this Tennessee county. Local livestock operations left scrambling. So basically, in Moore County, Tennessee, for decades, the mash waste, a lot of people refer to it as slop.
Yeah.
It's literally just the waste from this distilling process. They have given that away to the farmers.
Yeah.
Kind of a mutually beneficial relationship. The farmers, you can then feed that to
And
livestock.
they got to get rid of it. So.
Yeah. It's literally trash.
Yeah.
They would give it to the farmers, and it can be fed straight to cattle. Well, one farmer said, Terry Holt said he's made the trip to the Jack Daniels distillery since he was 20 years old, hauling back tens of thousands of gallons of feed. He said for 45 years he's made this trip every single day.
Dang.
He said, I've been in it 365 days, multiplied by 45. You find out how many days I've hauled it. And basically, I think they had given them some heads up. I think it said all the way back in 2022 that this may be coming to an end. And officially, I believe it's next March. Yeah, on March 31st, it will end.
Dang.
Which you're like, okay, they've been giving it away. They weren't obligated to do that. Okay, so why are they going to stop doing this? I'm sure they've got a really good reason.
Yeah.
And that's where I have a problem with this.
Right, I hadn't looked into this. I had just seen the article.
it said this evolution is driven by a partnership with Three Rivers Energy. Like, okay. To achieve key environmental standards.
Oh, gosh.
So they've got to devote or shift all this waste into these new anaerobic digester facilities. They're obligated to provide between 350,000 and 500,000 gallons, so 500,000 gallons per day.
Wow.
And it's all for these like alternative energy bullshit. Like, and that's where I'm like, okay. Like, they've been literally turning their trash into beef for, well, in the case of Terry.
And they've been killing us in the whole process, just killing the environment.
For 45 years. and now, based on this green energy bullshit, which, and I know Trump and Vance, they all talked about how we're gonna pull the plug on all these subsidies for this bullshit, but so much of it was already in the works, and I don't know if that's exactly where this program comes in. But these damn anaerobic digesters were like, I don't know if the end product there is like the RNG, renewable natural gas, but it's like, what's more renewable than literally us turning trash into food?
Yeah.
We're turning something that is not only, it's trash, and we're literally turning it into one of the most awesome foods that you'll find anywhere, beef.
Yep.
But now we're going to divert that and use it to make energy in a way that really probably doesn't even make any sense except it's propped up by subsidies.
Did you see where they shut down the big solar plant in California?
I did.
I think it had been up for, I don't remember how many years now. I had shared this actually on Facebook the other day. It was a big solar farm right here. Construction began in 2010, was completed in 2014, and now it's set to close. $2.2 billion solar plant in California turned off after years of wasted money. It never lived up to its promises. That's the thing. That's what we've been saying, guys. Like, the green is just not, it's not as green as they make it out to be. Because, like I say, I don't understand what could be more green than taking the waste and turning it into food. So here's our question. We got one in here from Bryson. Fellas, how's it going again? I have realized I need to put some LOLs when I make a joking comment. I don't know what you're referencing, Bryson. It's been too long now. He said, I appreciate the in-depth responses on my last round of questions, but the comment on going all in on I got you. He said the comment on going all in on stalkers and turning them out into your unharvested fields was meant as a joke. Gotcha. I don't even remember that now.
Yeah.
This was mid-September. Sorry, we probably were in our own world there. He said, on the episode where you ran through what would happen if a large number of farmers went out of business, an interesting exercise you could enlist your Terminator for is to see what percentage of acres would need to be left fallow to get the prices back to a profitable level. As you know better than I, there are plenty, if not all, farmers who have some marginal ground that could be left out of production. Good luck with the rest of harvest. All right, Bryson, I appreciate that. And as I was preparing for this question, I did just that. I asked my Terminator that question. So, and yeah, every farmer pretty much has some ground that, and most of the time when they're working it, they're probably thinking to themselves like, damn, this farm needs to be left out.
Well, your dad referenced it on episode 200. He's like, these 30 and 40 bushel acre bean grounds around here, which there's a lot of.
Yep.
He's like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, not today.
It's just dumb to even be working that ground.
Yeah. So here is, in plain English, this says 6% of corn acres idled would likely firm prices back above $5 if demand stays steady. So that would be 5 to 6 million acres of corn. Soybeans would be 3 to 4% of acres. So 3 million acres pulled would likely push beans into the mid-teens. Wheat is more complex because global trade dominates. but 3 to 5 million U.S. acres could lift it by $1 or more.
And see, that doesn't sound like that much. You're talking like, what did you say, 5% of corn?
6% of corn, 3 to 4% of beans, and it didn't give a percentage on the wheat, but it's 3 to 5 million acres.
And part of me says, like, with how terrible these last couple of years have been, will we not naturally get to that maybe by next year? I mean,
well, I'll tell you what.
I know that small percentage, but still a lot of ground.
Yeah.
But like, and then the question is, what do you do with that ground?
Well,
does it just lay out? Just totally go fallow?
Canola is moving in, and if guys see a potential upside on the canola, you could probably see a pretty good reduction in some of your ground with people going that route.
How long does it take for the canola isn't worth shit? Because
I don't know, because they're wanting to really push canola.
And see, I go back to like we discussed last week. Like, what are they going to do with all this canola? Because there's been a real negative pushback on seed oils, but like just putting it in
airplane fuel.
So I think it's more efficient for fuel production than just corn for ethanol, I guess.
I guess so, because our buddy Matt, me and him were talking about canola, and I think he told me it was like basically, I guess jet fuel or airplane fuel is what they're going to produce out of canola.
And now is when it'd be a good time to have my wife on here. One of the very first jobs she took after, we both got out of school, she was working in the consulting world, which has been primarily where she's been the last 16, 17 years. And they were looking at renewable fuel sources. But basically this project they were doing, they were working for one of the major oil companies. I don't even know who it was. And they had like paid her company to do this study, but pretty much the government required them
to disprove them.
Well, to like I guess all the major oil companies, they were required to spend like at least so much money looking at alternative fuel sources. And so she spent a lot of time like in the Pacific Northwest, and they were looking at, it wasn't canola, I forget what crops it was, and they were basically just going around and interviewing farmers saying like, hey, could you grow this crop? Would you grow this crop? What would is it even feasible to do this?
Yeah.
And like they did this huge study that cost, I'm sure, millions of dollars, and like took it back to, and I don't even remember who the company was, and I'm sure I probably wasn't supposed to say, but it was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But whatever oil company, and it'd be one you've heard of. They're like, okay, appreciate y'all doing that study. We really don't give a shit. We were just required to like do this research. Like we knew it really didn't make sense to do it.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaur bones still make more sense, than us, getting a bunch of farmers to grow this. Or I think it was like, even like, they're like, well, we can grow like in Asia, like they can do that better than we can or whatever. Yeah. But it was, they were looking at that. So I don't know,
Well, that's one, and Matt actually also made a really good. He put up a video the other day. Give a shout out. That's Griggs Farms on YouTube.
When harvest gets over, we're proud to have them in again.
We definitely do, because we need to talk about what they're talking about. But he was talking about if farmers, and I don't remember the numbers, and I ain't gonna really try to necessarily remember them. But he was saying if you would cut your population back by 1,000 seed per acre, and that's not crazy. Like
on which crop?
Corn. And he may have even meant all of them, but like corn, for instance, if you plant 32, some people plant 32 to 34,000 of seed per acre, and he was like, if each farmer would cut back 1,000 seed. So if you're planting 32, you're going to just bump your planter down to 31. He was like, if every farmer would do that on the corn acres, I think he said it was like $360 million or something that it would take away from the big seed manufacturers. And he said that's not going to bankrupt these companies, but he's like, that would send a message. He's like, we could send a message. He said, and it's not like we're asking you to do something crazy. He's like, literally dialing your population back just by 1,000, and then he even said that saves you, I think, $4 to $5 an acre or something. I think he was saying you spend $4 per 1,000 seed.
Well, and I've heard him talk about not necessarily just specifically on seed, but he's like, if we quit, because the industry has just hammered it in our heads. We got to push the envelope on yield. Like, do this, do that, plant a higher population, put more fertilizer, put more of this product, that product.
Yep.
Yield is the one way for us to make profit. If we all of a sudden said, nope, we're gonna go very low inputs, obviously gonna sacrifice some yield, but we're gonna save so much money on our inputs, then because our yields across the board are gonna go down, that's gonna
bump the price up.
That's gonna cut supply. It's gonna put pressure on the price,
Yep.
to go up. He's like, and he had exact numbers. Like, and again, it was like, if everybody would do this, like, we would all make more money growing less, yield, but because one, we'd have less inputs, but two, it would have positive effect on prices.
Yep.
But he's like, but we're our own worst enemy. Like, we won't do that. Like, like, I might convince you to do that, but and a few other neighbors to do that, but then there's gonna be some greedy asshole out there. It's gonna be like,
oh, hell no!
Well, now corn's gonna be $5.50 a bushel.
I gotta make 400 bushel.
I'm throwing the kitchen sink at this some bitch. Like, we're gonna pour the nitrogen to it. We're gonna do everything we can. We're gonna try to grow 300 bushel corn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was kind of his thing, and there was a graph that somebody put up the other day. And I talked to one of my dealers today. I talked to him for like an hour on the combine. But I told him, I said, it's not them. And I think I've said this on air before. It's not those guys. It's not your Tennessee Tractor, your Helenas, or whatever that are the bad guys.
They're just the middlemen.
They're the middlemen. They have to function off the prices that they're given. Those guys are raising hell right now because they're like, prices have got to come down. Like the guy I was talking to today, he was like, man, I have been screaming to them, like, y'all got to do something. Like, these prices got to come down. You're charging farmers it's too damn expensive. And the problem with it is, like, in a normal industry, if a company designs a product, they design the product, and then they're like, all right, here is how much it cost us to build this product. Now, we want to tack a profit percentage on here. I think in standard business, I think like on the product, it ain't like 10%, like a standard profit.
Man, I think it'll vary by industry, but yeah, I mean, I think it just varies.
I was gonna say, but I think like that's fairly common, about 10%. Some of these like seed and chemical manufacturers, they've shown a 40% profit even over the last 5 years. They're averaging 20 to 40% profit margin over every year for the last 5 years, and we have been in what they consider an ag economic recession for the past 3 years now. But the people selling to us, not the middlemen, the manufacturers selling, are making like killer profits. And then the graph this one guy showed, when our prices jump up, so do Corteva and Syngenta and Bayer and all them, their prices all jump up. Well, then our prices fall down. Well, their prices don't. And then we get another bump and a rally in prices, and our prices go up. Well, then theirs go up. And so it actually is a stair step of prices of theirs jumping up, but ours is so freaking like a roller coaster, and theirs never comes down with ours. It only goes up. And so it's like way out of whack. But Matt may have been the one that pointed this out. They take you take a bag of corn seed, and they say, here we go, we got this corn. We've designed the seed, whatever. It'll shell 200 bushel an acre. Instead of saying, here's what it costs us to make it, let's tack a 10% profit margin on there and be done with it. They say, here's what it costs us to make it, but if the farmer can make 200 bushel an acre with this, then here's how much money he ought to make. So here's how much money we ought to make. And so they don't do any extra work. They continue the process, just updating. And the next batch they come out with, they say, well, this corn will shell 250 bushel acre. So now we got to charge the farmer even more because he's going to be making more money off of this corn now. Like, and it's like, that's not how it's working because our prices just keep going down. So it's, we're getting killed. I mean, we're just getting killed by these. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's and people are working on stuff. Like my dealer that I talked to today, he told me, he was like, man, he told me, he said, there's some guys I'm going to talk to. He said, I'm going to see about looking into some maybe more obscure chemicals that are like cheaper.
Well,
and kind of do a more ROI based approach rather than just let's shoot for the moon on the yield.
I've kind of fallen into a group, or not really fallen into a group, but there's a group on X or Twitter that
don't tell me about some weird sex group you're in.
That's right, man. You know it. We post nudie pictures on there all the time, but now
did you spread your butt cheeks?
They're big into
my concho.
Right. It was in Playgirl magazine, but and I don't know exactly because I'm not in the row crop world, but they're big into it. Like they are anti like any of the big seed companies, and they're doing these like, I don't know if you call them off-brand or whatever, hybrids.
What is this called?
Well, we might even ought to see if we could get them on here at some point. They call it, they're the largest.
I never heard of that.
It's Redline Hybrids. I don't know anything about it, but in which you talk about nudie, they do post a lot of. They always joke about like these are our new sales reps.
Yeah.
And there is no nudity.
So they would get along.
But the largest provider of off-patent gly-tolerant seed corn in North America offer $125 delivered to your doors. $125 a bag, pretty cheap.
That is very cheap on corn.
Yeah,
that's super cheap. My average corn price probably $300 a bag.
Well, and they're pushing the hell out of it, and they're sharing all kinds of pictures, like. Yep, this is this $125 corn. You know, we got.
Dang, a gly tolerant.
And they're, which they ruffle some feathers. Like I think, and the guy that runs this, I mean, he's great to follow.
I just followed him.
The guy that like is behind it.
Okay, that's the dude. I saw that one pop up when I was looking.
His literal like handle is defund the USDA. It's like, hey, I'm not necessarily against that. Which he does post a lot of attractive ladies.
I'll say man of good taste.
Yeah, but he's kind of ruffled some feathers, but it seems like more and more people are kind of getting behind him, and I mean they really are selling seed corn apparently. I'll
have to find out about if anybody I know has used any of their hybrids.
He might be a good guest for us to have on.
It'd be cool to hear anyways.
Again, a little outside of my wheelhouse as far as. I don't even really know what I'm talking about here, but I mean, hell, I like cheap corn. Let's keep feeding those cattle.
I mean, $125. If you could get it, $125 is really cheap. I mean, that's really cheap corn.
Well, I just don't want corn to get over $4 a bushel.
Yeah, I want it to get to like $8. So then I can grow a mediocre crop and still be all right.
Then you'll have to start coming down my narrow ass road with the planter again.
Is that how you load up your hay, you cattleman?
Yeah, on the back was that a?
It looks like is that a Ferrari or a Lamborghini?
Yeah, they're all the same to me.
Yeah,
a car I will never own.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know, guys. We gotta definitely start thinking outside the box. Let me see here. I got a new phone. I got to see if I can figure out how to find
the dude.
Find the dude. Where is that? Oh, hell.
We still don't have him on the board.
I know. How long have we been saying that now? How long have we been saying we were going to put him on here?
I don't know if we started doing the Made in America segment at the very beginning. I think we were pretty close. We have to go back and listen to one of the early episodes, see when we started actually doing that.
Yeah, hell, where is that thing? Video capture? No. I never can remember what I have put it under. I got all these freaking account or albums. Well, hell, our audience is gonna give up on us.
You want me to get him?
If you can get him, get him.
I got him. I just gotta. It's back to the old days of me, like
Having to turn your volume up and get it set.
yeah.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. Let me start off with 2 words.
Had to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, let it play again, echo. I feel like we kind of did the one.
Yeah, I think Estes Concaves. I mean, right? That's gonna be a natural.
Yeah, that's the one we need to go with. So you guys check out Estes Concaves. It's ESTES Concaves. They are very well made. It's not that it's like an intricate job putting these things in. Like, you know, I said it took us probably 6 hours. I mean, it's just a job. You got to take out the old ones; they're heavy. You got to unbolt stuff, and then it's kind of you gotta level the concave, and that takes some doing. So,
Which if you just Google Estes Concaves or DuckDuckGo it, as I do, because I don't like them tracking me. It's EstesPerformanceConcaves.com.
there you go. Yep, and they're awesome. I mean, they even have a website called setmycombine.com, and you can go on there and it tells you like all the different settings they recommend for their concaves on your machine, and they've got concaves. They probably have concaves for your combine. And guys, your concaves, if you're running a combine with any age on it, I mean, my combine I think is 11 years old, and those concaves, they were wore out. I mean, I was losing some grain even with good settings. I was losing some grain out the back, and they were wore out. So I recommend Estes Concaves. And then I also recommend going to tractormat.com and using our code TALKDIRT to get your American-made mat and put it in your combine or your tractors of all kinds of brands. Check them out. And
that code gets you 15% off.
That's right. And where else?
Agzaga.com, code TALKDIRT20. Fill up that shopping cart. That gives you $20 off a $50 minimum order plus free shipping. No matter how big, bulky, and pain in the ass it is to ship it, they'll do it for free. It doesn't matter to you. It's free. Yeah, check them out. All the good stuff. Add new stuff all the time. Agzaga.com.
There you go. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Yep. Be right here.